Hi guys, I'm back with you. I've gotten one 32 ounces done, so I'm going to start drinking this today. It'll probably be done before the night. I started a little late today. Normally what I'll be doing is doing a smoothie in the daytime, morning, like early morning, like 8 o'clock. And then for the rest of the day, I'm just going to do juice. I feel the need to eat, and that's just it. A lot of times when we're juicing and you're doing it for a cleanse purposes, it takes some time for them chewing mechanisms. You know, the desire to chew is habitual, and we get to thinking about food and stuff. So, what I would suggest to you is, if you must, um, only eat raw. No condiments, as my son could say. No condiments, no extras. Just eat raw. So, you go pick up some carrots, celery. You can cut it up into strips. Try to find it as organic as possible. And you do it, and you eat that raw, and you don't add a whole lot to it. You can make a salad. If you need to add something to the salad, get some EVO, extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, or some, and mix that maybe with some apple cider vinegar. And if you want to break up some, get some thyme and some fresh seasonings and put them in together, fresh seasonings. So don't use the ones in the can. You want to try to keep your body as pure and organic as possible. You can mix that with some extra virgin olive oil, some apple cider vinegar, and make you a little vinaigrette. That is not a bad thing to do. Apple cider vinegar is really good for the stomach, they say. I ain't quite sure how that works, but they say that. So it's juicing pretty quickly here. I'm up to my next 32 ounces almost. I'm not a frost foamy girl, so I usually take the foam off. But that has some pulp in it. And the exciting thing about this juicer is, I just kind of want to show you. I need to stop my juicer so I can show you something. I have juiced 64 ounces of juice at this point. Almost a gallon of juice. And this is all the pulp that I have. I want to show you up close and personal, no glare. That is it. That is all the pulp that I have. 64 ounces of juice I've juiced, and this is all the pulp I have. This is not even filled. If this was a different kind of juicer, this would be filled up, and I would have dumped it, because I've juiced with other juicers before, and I would have had to dump the container for pulp, dump it into something else already. But that's because so many times there's so much juice left in the vegetable as it's pulping, as it's going through, that you have a lot bulkier, a lot more pulp than you do. But because this thing chews it all the way down to nothing, runs it through until it's chewed down to nothing. This is all the pulp I have. It's not even half a container filled. So like, see you in the off when it's not shaded. It's not even half a container. That is amazing to me. So this is why I really like this juicer, in opposed to others. You want to try to get a masticating juicer. They also make them. I have a really huge one underneath my sink by Champion. It's an older one. They have really excellent juicers that really get the best out of and the most out of the vegetable. So I wanted to show you that. So I'm keeping it moving. Sometimes I use my little plunger thing, and sometimes I don't. So I'm just going to keep it moving and continue to juice all of this kale. I have a sink full of kale and cucumbers. I need another 32 ounces before I'm done for my 3 days worth of juicing. And I'll probably share some juice with my friend who, her name is Dallas, and she's juicing with me. So probably share some juice with her. But for the most part, I'll get the most that I need out of this 3 days. Now, the budget for this, I kind of wanted to discuss that really briefly. The Placenta kale is about $2.50. It runs between $2.50, $2.99 a bunch. Most times that I've purchased it. And it's usually from Whole Foods. So it runs about that, about $2.50 a bunch. 3 bunches if you're just going to do green, because this is my first time really adding beets to my juice. I usually only do a green juice. I'm not really a fan of the whole red color thing, but the beets actually give it a wonderful flavor. So because I'm incorporating beets, I had to kind of recalculate things and calibrate things, because beets create a lot of juice for one, and it's not. I just used to make a green juice, which was kale, spinach, Swiss chard, then the celery, cucumbers, lemon, lime, and 1 apple. That used to be my formula, my go-to formula. I've added beets because I know that I have other issues, so I've added it to my diet. into my juice recipe because I like to. I don't know. I don't always count and regulate down to the second millisecond of what it is I'm adding. But I added beets. So it kind of takes some things, it changes my budget a little bit because where it would take me 3 bunches of kale, it usually for 64 ounces for 3 days, I'm probably going to use 2 bunches of kale, 2 beets, because they yield about the same as maybe a bunch of kale, probably more would have yielded. So we're talking about for a 3-day juicing budget, the kale being $2.50 a bunch. The beets I bought were 3 beets, and I believe they were $2.99 for the 3 beets. And that was 1 bunch, using 2 beets for the entire juicing process for 3 days. So when you the bulk stuff that I use, the celery is usually around $3.99 for a bag. Organic celery is a little bit more expensive, so it's about $3.99, $4 for a bag. The same thing about organic cucumbers. They cost a little bit more. They cost about $1.50, $2, sometimes $2.50 for organic cucumbers. $2 per cucumber, $1.50 per cucumber. It depends. Now Costco's has them in bulk, organic, in the bag. So I'm going to go pick up some Costco ones later on this week. I'm not quite sure what the price is on that. So where we are for about a 3-day budget is about $25. I remember doing my 6-day budget before. It was about $50 for 6 days. So you figure if you're going to separate your food out from your children or the rest of your family while you're doing this 40 days, you need to make sure that you budget $50 of your grocery money per week for juicing. It's about $50 a week. So it's about $200 a month, which is not bad if you're going to go on a juice fast. $200 is a big cut in my grocery bill in my house, and it's just me and one child. Yeah, so other than buying for him, which is about another $50 to that budget. So, it's about normal grocery bill. It's not a big leap from outside of my normal grocery bill as long as I stayed within the budget. So I just kind of wanted to share that part with you as well. Now, when you incorporate fruits, that's different for like your smoothies. It depends on how you go with the fruits. For me, I was doing fresh fruit, organic fruit, and then I throw them in my own Ziploc bag and I freeze them. Or you can buy frozen fruit. I believe that I have a brand in my refrigerator that is organic. And maybe I do. No, I have an all-natural brand, but I don't have an organic brand. But there is an organic brand in your local grocery store. You can buy organic frozen fruit, and I know you can get that at Whole Foods, or you can buy organic regular fruit and put it in a Ziploc bag yourself and freeze it. That is what I do. So that's a different budget altogether. And I'll get that for you and make sure I post that on the page. Okay? So I'll see you back in a little bit to see my finished product and see how it tastes.